What is a product service that you can't still believe exists in 2019? I work for a grocery store that for many years has had a phone line where people could call and it would tell them the current time and temperature. They still have this system. And if it isn't working, we get phone calls from people angry that it isn't working. www.nissan.com is still owned by some mom-and-pop computer repair guy from the 90s. I remember stumbling across this by accident when I was looking for my first car in 2000. He's been fighting Nissan Auto for decades and won't give up his domain. One of the film festivals I was entering required that your submission be on Betamax tape. That was pretty interesting. There was one guy in town who could convert it for me. He lived and worked in this big old house, covered floor to ceiling with shelves of every kind of video, film, audio device you can imagine. Convenience fees for paying online. They're such bull crap. Edit. Whoa, thanks for the silver. Video stores. There's one near my house that still stocks VHS tapes. I have no idea how they keep the lights on, but I go there from time to time just for the nostalgia. AOL. Everyone used them for dial-up internet back in the early 2000s, but they still provide internet to tons of people. I played Neopets religiously like a decade ago and the website is still up and running. It hasn't changed since. Same layout and everything. McAfee antivirus. My dentist's building has an employee just for pressing the buttons in the elevator. Amway, Mary Kay, and any of the legacy, multi-level marketing schemes, and #X200B. Guess that's why ones like Herbalife survive too, since the old ones have as well. The Facebook guy who posts Michael Jackson updates every day. Long-distance calling. I recently joined my father's business and was going through company expenses. I saw they were overpaying for a slew of communication services. I called Verizon and asked about these charges, and one of them was for long-distance calling. This isn't a thing anymore, but because we had never canceled it, we were still being charged. I wonder how much they collect in long-distance charges from people who just never updated their accounts. I sometimes find it hard to believe that you can go into a beauty salon and say to someone, "Hi there, I think my butt is a little too dark. How much would it cost to have you bleach it for me?" And they would respond with a number. And if you paid, they would actually bleach your butt for you. Sorry for my bad English, but in the place where I live there are guys going around the houses and whistling. What they do is sharpen your knives with a stone they carry. Edit. I'm from Mexico. From those stores that rent out furniture and appliances at exorbitant rates. Telemarketers. How, you have called this number 12 times in 3 weeks and it is my work phone. If I didn't believe the IRS was filing a claim against me the first time, why the hell would it work the next 10 times? The Schwann's man. Dudes drive around in trucks and peddle frozen goods door to door. Nothing against them or their product. The premise still just weirds me out. It's like a milkman. The U.S. Postal Service will still keep forwarding a letter 3 times in the hope of reaching the correct person, all for the cost of 1 stamp. A couple of years ago, I read an article, https priceonomics.com/the-life-of-a-phone-sex-operator/ about phone happy fun time, and was shocked that it's still around. Vacuum shops. I had an issue with my sewing machine a few months ago, and the nearest authorized repairer was a vacuum shop that looked straight out of the 1980s. It was such a surreal experience being in there. Sending telegrams. MySpace technically still exists, but they lost all of their users' data a while back. Pinkerton agent. I was just looking for jobs online and stumbled across a job posting looking to hire agents. Here's a link if you're unfamiliar. Pinkertons. https en.mrwikipedia.org/wiki/Pinkerton_detective_agency. Door-to-door salesman. No one takes them seriously and almost no one ever actually buys their garbage. Fax machines and everything that goes along with theme is your infomercial. See, can't believe you still can buy things from TV. Call now and you'll get 2 things that are Russell's. Thanks. Now I have 2 parrot toys that reminds you chores. I am always pretty shocked to learn Netflix still delivers DVDs. Phone book. Once every 6 months I seem to find one either sitting under or on top of my porch. I just recycle. Theme is here. The doctor still has to use older, digital technology to check my prostate. Edit 1. My physician is a female. Edit 2. For those of you who are confused, greater than a prostate examination, also called a digital rectal exam, DRE, is when a physician inserts his or her finger into your rectum to directly feel the prostate gland. B. Space Jam website. https://www.spacejam.com. Archive. Space Jam movie Jamasurdom is still up and running the way it was in 1996. Telephone psychics. The NES support phone line. Nintendo still answers anyone who calls. The number is written on the back of the NES. Recently, I was a bit surprised to see that Walmart still sells cassette tape recorders. More than 2 million people still pay for AOL dial-up. https www.cnet.com/news/more-than-2-million-people-still-pay-for-AOL-dial-up/. Fire. Been the same garbage technology for like 3 million years. Child beauty pageants, they're just so creepy. I bought a new printer the other day. Like, a nice printer. They sent me a DVD in the box with instructions on it. It didn't even include a paper or electronic instruction manual. Who in God's name thinks it's still a good idea to do this? Crazy that it's actually an inconvenience at this point for companies to provide this. Tanning beds, just a cancer box. Low-definition TV channels occupying the top spot in the menu and making you go to channel 300 or whatever to get the HD version. They also restrict you from customizing the menu so HD can't be on 1, 2, 3, etc. Is there a big box TV with HDMI? Do they exist? The do not call registry. Nice idea in theory, but telemarketers ignore it. Political calls are exempt, which pisses me off no end, as are calls from non-profits and charities, which also pisses me off. Some telemarketers might actually obey the law, but if I'm getting this many calls asking for votes and donations, the registry is next to worthless. Ads on television. It's 2019 and I can't believe we have to pay for cable and have ad breaks. Gas station pumpers in New Jersey. People who spend money on a special tariff number to get a daily prayer via text to their phone. Fax machines. I work for a major railroad. All our paperwork is handled with faxes. Ask me how well it works. Not a product or service, but listing Microsoft Office as a required skill on a job description. Actual physical checks in companies that demand them as payment. It's a piece of paper. Wouldn't you rather I send you an ACH or wire payment? We're planning a wedding now and the amount of vendors who are like, what? PayPal deposit? ACH? Venmo? No. Put a piece of paper in the snail mail to send to me so I can then take it to the bank and deposit it and hope it's good. Then you're confirmed. Is baffling. Edit. I am fully aware that the wires and PayPal both charge a fee for payment. Vendors, especially wedding vendors, could say, you could pay with a check or PayPal, wire, if you cover the amount for fees. I would rather pay a little bit extra to not have to go to the bank and order checks than go to the post office to mail them. It's called a convenience fee for a reason, and I will happily pay for the convenience of not having to mail a paper check. Edit 2. Check is the correct spelling in the US. No, it is not misspelled. No, I will not use check. Deleted. Comcast. Fuck. Theme is here. MTV and VH1. cash-only restaurants get a fluffing iPad and a Square account. I am sure they have reasons, but all I can think is that they are lying about how much money they take in. Also, every cash-only restaurant in my neighborhood has an ATM that costs $3 or $4 to use. Kinda feels like a slap in the face.